Welcome to the Muslim Jewish Conference 2017.
أهلا وسهلا فيكم في مؤتمر اليهود والمسلمين.
ברוכים הבאים.
Bienvenue.
Willkommen.
Dobro požalovat.
Welcome.
Dobrodošli.
Bem-vindo.
أهلا وسهلا.
ברוכים הבאים.
Benvenuti.
في المسلم Jewish Conference 2017.
مرحبا بكم في المؤتمر المسلم اليهودي.
Herzlich willkommen bei der Muslim Jewish Conference 2017 in Sarajevo, Bosnien.
Sarajevo.
It's all about the people. I thought it would be more focused on the knowledge about Judaism, and actually it's only especially knowing people and persons and having new friends and finding out that we have so many things in common. That's mind-blowing.
So I still remember the first exercise when we sort of we wrote down these stereotypes that other people have around us. So the Jews wrote about stereotypes about Jews, and Muslims wrote stereotypes about Muslims. It was like an icebreaker, as they call them, but one of substance. It was an icebreaker that led to a real exchange of information and a real conversation. And I've always felt a kinship towards Muslims who felt discriminated against. And finally, I had a platform to actually discuss this and have an event that brought these two things, anti-Semitism and Islamophobia, together. Because many times people believe that anti-Semitism or stereotypes about Jews don't really exist anymore. And for me, it was extremely gratifying and extremely reassuring. It sort of actualized my experience as a Jew.
And the best one, all Muslims are Arabs and all Arabs are Muslims.
The Muslim Jewish Conference is a grassroots organization. It was created in 2010, and ever since it was created, it gathered around 650 different youth from the Muslim and Jewish community coming from over 50 different countries.
I think the MJC as a grassroots organization has proven what's possible if a group of young, determined people come together, and how much social change can be triggered on a massive scale.
Everyone that I've met here has genuinely came in really with the same openness and eagerness to just be able to get to know one another, to be able to share, to be able to just set aside our strong views or differences, just to be able to really connect with you, and what you may have experienced, and have a window into what other young, people of faith, what other things they're experiencing in their different parts of the world. I was in the projects committee, so we were actually working on, our projects and helping to develop them even better, and to be with other great thought leaders and people who are really involved in this work and wanting to further it. That's something that's really important to me. So this was just an incredible experience that exceeded my expectations.
Can we get a mop? No! Can we get an azúcar? Azúcar! Amazing, awesome.
Yeah, well, Srebrenica was really intense. Emotionally, it was really, overwhelming, because I thought that just okay. I know about the genocide, but when you go there and you feel, this atmosphere, it's a beautiful environment, it's a beautiful nature, amazing, and the sun and everything. You're like, how, and you just like, you can't understand the human nature, like how this happened. So yeah, I was just wondering, and I couldn't sleep, for example, because I was my brain was still processing the information and the emotions. So yeah, it was really, sad, but at the same time, really instructive. Yeah.
We say never again, and we mean never again for anyone anywhere. But it made me think about how much do we mean it if I wasn't even educated about what happened in my own lifetime, and how can we prevent these things from happening again.
At the previous MJC, we had actually gone to a concentration camp in Mauthausen, and that was a very painful day for me because it was my first time experiencing anything like that. And because I very proudly identify as Muslim, I thought that seeing the pain of the Bosnian genocide would affect me more, because those were mainly Muslims. And I'm just surprised that Mauthausen hurt me more. And I think that's good, because it means I'm beginning to see that it's not Muslim pain or Jewish pain, it's just pain.
On the one hand, to be with this group and to see how moving it is for people to see it. And I think that the jumping point is the joint prayer, where really there is a spiritual step to commemorate the victims, but also the happening itself. And it's for me, it's always it is commemorating also the people who do it. It isn't, you see it how present it is, and still you feel it, and it is not resolved, and you see it everywhere in the world, and how easy it seems for people to start doing these atrocities and terrible things. And for me, MGC is a really alternative to this, to not to stick at the things that divide, but with all the differences and diversity, see the common bound and tie between humans.
It was something very special for me, that two communities, they came together, they start praying at the same place at the same time, and it was really amazing for me.
I think that having a discussion about Palestine and Israel was really interesting for me to hear about. It's something that I talk a lot about at home, and honestly, most of the time try to get away from because it's exhausting and I don't want to deal with it. But hearing stories, the speakers that we listened to were very powerful, and I've heard stories like that before. But listening to the narrative in this type of audience, especially a lot of people that care so much about the issue for all kinds of different reasons, I think was really eye-opening, because I know that I care a lot, but it's important to realize that my perspective and the fact that I care doesn't mean that other people don't.
I often thought that studying law, you had one solution. There was a right and a wrong. And for example, on this conflict, we talk, we find a solution. And I realized that it's not a solution. We're not going to come away here with a unicorn, if you will. We're working towards understanding a path. And this is what is happening during this week. And it's not what I had hoped for, but it's the best that I can expect.
It's very important to see Israelis not as a state, but as people. And it's the first time for me to meet people from Israel. And at the beginning, only thing you can think about is their status of Israeli. But after a while, you start to see them as human beings, and that's what you can start a real communication with them.
I will sing for you a song I love. I love it. One song I love. I love very much. Comme si je n'existais pas. Elle est passée à côté de moi. Sans un regard, reine de Saba. J'ai dit Aïcha, prends tout est pour toi. Oh, voici des perles, des bijoux. Aussi le ventre de ton cou. Les fruits bienheureux de miel. Ma vie, Aïcha, si tu m'aimes. Oh, Aïcha. Aïcha, écoute-moi. Aïcha, Aïcha, t'en vas pas. Oh, Aïcha, Aïcha, regarde-moi. Oh, Aïcha, Aïcha, réponds-moi.
All my life I have known that Muslim and Jewish 180 degrees are opposite. So, but after this conference, I realized that we are same and we are so similar. So just this is my message, and I invite other Muslim also to join this conference in future. And I think we need more conferences like Muslim Jewish conference. And that's it. I'm very happy to be here.
Everyone here is important within their group, and they reach out with a message that the Jews are our friends, that the Muslims are our friends. It reaches much broader than just the participants. So yes, I think it does an incredible, it has a massive impact that we can't measure. We won't be able to know how many people we've hit, but it definitely does have an impact.
Just meeting people from other parts of the world, even Jews from other parts of the world. There's a lot of things I didn't know about my own religion. I'm not a very religious person. And it was just amazing meeting a lot of other people. And I think that's gonna help me understand my own religion and also, Islam too.
And I'm very satisfied about it. It was way better than what I could have expected.
What we've done in the last 7 years, everybody told us is impossible. We've done it with a minimum of resources. Having supporters who understand that come on board and give us the opportunity to create more possibilities for these drivers of change, for these visionaries, to implement their idea of a better world and make it happen. I think what can be done has no boundaries anymore.
The people here are incredible. Absolutely incredible. So warm, so humble, so open to sharing. I've had a very positive experience. Alhamdulillah, so blessed.
And I come here, and it's a whole different experience. I meet people from all around the world who are my age, and they're so humble, but they're so busy and active and making such a large change in their communities and in the world.